Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are now going to start in on the imperfect tense. This can be found on page 203 of your textbook. And I know you're going to be overjoyed to hear this, but the imperfect tense is a second past tense in Spanish. So we just got done dealing with the preterite, and now we're going to learn a second past tense called the imperfect. This is much like a ser versus estar thing. We have two tenses that are both in the past but are used in different situations. The first digit of your code is a 2. So let's talk about uses of the imperfect. And I've come up with a little acronym here. W A T E. I gotta scroll down a little bit. R S. Waters. So W is weather. A, age. T is time. E, emotion. R is repetition, repeated past actions. And finally, setting. And for right now, we just got to kind of get the basic conjugation things down. Uh, the next concept we'll be doing is actual preterite verse imperfect. And at that point, we'll concentrate more on the usages. So, the good thing about the imperfect is there are only 3 irregular verbs. Okay? Everything else is completely regular. There's no stem changers, no cargar czar, nothing else strange. All regular verbs except for 3. So your endings for an AR verb are aba, abas, aba, abamos, abais, and aban. IR verbs are ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, and ian. So, to make this a little bit easier, you may notice that these are all regular present tense AR endings except the yo form. So for AR verbs, as, a, amos, ais, an. ERIR, as, a, amos, ais, and on. So for AR, you put an AB before the regular AR endings. For ERIR, you put an accented I before the endings. The second digit of your code is a 9. Now, let's do some examples with some regulars. So, he was here. Él estaba aquí. I used to have hair. Now, notice here, no specific instance, okay, no time mentioned. This just kind of goes with uh, a setting or description, okay? There's no, it's a repeated past action. I didn't have hair for quite a while. But used to is a great translation of the imperfect. So I used to have hair. We use the verb tener, to have. Yo tenía pelo. I used to have hair. Very simple, very straightforward. And then one more. We always ate at 6 p.m. Okay, so siempre, if I can spell that right, siempre comíamos a las 6 de la tarde. We always eat at 6, or always ate at 6. Once again, always, it's a repeated past action, so we stick with the imperfect. Now, the only thing left is the 3 irregulars. The third digit of your code is a 4, by the way. So, we have the 2 biggies, ser and ir. These are always irregular, almost everywhere you go, but it is era, eras, era, éramos, erais, and eran. Ir is iba, ibas, iba, íbamos, ibais, and iban. Now notice some things that will help you here. Ser, okay, ser is kind of reverse conjugated. Normally when you conjugate a verb, you drop the ER. In this case, they dropped the S and then left the regular AR ending. ER, AS, ER, A, ER, AMOS, ER, AIS. So that may help you remember those. And then ear, if you look at the endings, IA, IAS, IA, the regular endings, here you just have an IB followed by the AR endings. IB, AS, IB, A, IB, AMOS, IB, AIS. You get the idea. So while they are irregulars, you can make some sense out of them. And the last one here is ver. And it is veía, veíais, or veías, veía, veíamos, veíais, and veían. All they did here, an easy way to remember it, is they just dropped the R and then the regular ER, IR endings, IA, ES, IA, etc. So, hopefully a little bit easy to remember. You can make some associations, and that is it for the imperfect. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good evening. Oh, last digit of your code is a 3. Bye.